Gosh darn. It's an amazing time to be alive in this extension of reality, this thing we call Earth, universe, galaxies and stars, you know. Here we are again, guys. Yep, one more time, one more round. Don't know quite what we're doing just yet, but we're here to help you figure that out and get it going and just prove to ourselves that these are amazing times to be alive, that all that's been talked out throughout history, the generations, isn't just talk. Behind that, all of the end time predictions, all of the 2012 stories, Mayan calendars and so forth, have been leading to something. And hardly anyone understands what it is, myself included, though I certainly have a picture of what's coming, and I've been there and seen that we've done it already. And I've been assured again and again by angels and so forth that not only are we going to make it through this ascension process, this transformation, but that we're already doing it and it's already done. That all we really have to do is kick back, relatively, and wait for it to happen. Just let it flow through us. So I'm here to help you get that vibe. Help ourselves, because as I've explained to you in my introduction, we're all in this together. No one's separate from another. And if you haven't seen that introduction, I suggest you go back and take a look at it now. It'd be a good time to do that. You know, it's difficult just staying alive here in this earth reality. The temptation to leave is around us and within us all the time, you know. I mean, there's several times a day you'll hear a voice saying, "Oh, just give up," or something along those lines. You know what I mean? And I don't care how wealthy or how poor or how happy or how sad, how tense or how calm your life is. It's the same for everybody. It's not easy. You know, some people get to this level where they've got a certain amount of joy in their heart and can experience a certain amount of bliss inside, but it's not an easy place to hold, even though we love it. You know, everybody struggles with what we would call darkness, difficulty, contrariness, orneriness. Like that fly that's buzzing me right now, 5 o'clock in the morning. Go home, fly. Go sleep. But anyway, you see what I mean? It's a perfect demonstration of what's happening. See, there he is again. Doggone. It's just about the time you think you're on a cruise and everything's going well and you're going to be just fine, something happens. You know, there's stress, there's anxiety, harsh words, rage, in other words, anger. And while some people can calm themselves to the point they hardly experience it, it still lives within. And keeping that in a quote-quote safe place where it won't hurt you or anybody else is difficult to the extreme, no matter how calm you get. It's part of the human experience. It's part of what we buy into when we agree to come here and emit from our mother's womb and begin to feel that separation again. You see, we really are all gathered together. And we're happy and we're joyful. But that's another life. Yet it's attached to us strongly. It's just as strong as any anger or rage that we hold or any difficulty that we go through. In fact, stronger. because that's what gets us through it. Somewhere beneath all the surface emotions, and they don't seem surface. I call them that because that's what they are. They're on the surface of reality. They're not real. They're an extension, a virtual thing. You know, real feelings are stronger. There's not words to describe real feelings, because even though they've been around for a long time, they haven't been around for a while, and everybody's kind of forgotten real feelings. You know, we've gotten off into this drama thing. You know, oh, what fun it is. You know, but just living, you know, it's hard not to get caught up in the drama of everyday life. So you have to do a little something to calm and center yourself and keep yourself in a good place. For some people that's booze, you know. But really we highly recommend, and other things these days, my gosh. Us old hippies sure brought a lot of new experiences into this reality, didn't we? But it's just another stage, another step. It all goes along. And here we are, you know, just trying not to have to make do, to do better than that, to get into a calm and centered place. But you know, we're out of touch with real feelings. But we're getting back in touch, and that's what everybody's feeling these days, and that's why there's so much anxiety. You see, this world we live in, this Mother Earth who's given us life and allowed us to be, and all of this that we go through, all the animals, all the trees, birds, plants, flowers, grasses, rocks, you know, everything here is interconnected, of course, but it's joined as kind of an extension of true reality. I don't know quite how to explain this, but we're going to attempt it. We live in a virtual world. That's why we've got computer games these days and things like that. It's because we're beginning to re-experience truth, the reality of what we're really into. And essentially, we live in that happy world. I went there once. What an amazing and beautiful place. I was taken in what you would call a visionary experience. Really, it's a trip through time. And the angels escorted me back to this place where some pretty ugly things happened in my childhood. And we got in this elevator, which is, you know, a thing that takes you between floors on a building normally, only this one goes down into the ground, into some secret underground chambers. And I thought, oh no, I got to go back to that moment again. There's more there. Well, of course there always is, but it wasn't something I particularly wanted to do, but that's kind of gnarly. But anyway, we went right by it. I didn't even see it go by. It just kept going down, and we popped out in this center world where everybody was happy. It was like an Uncle Remus cartoon, you know what I mean? Zippity-doo-dah, zippity-day. It was like that, you know, everybody. Oh my God, the love. It's the same love you feel if you're in tune when you're near death. It's like that. It's just this unending flow of beauty, truth, life. The love that creates it, that enjoys it, no matter how difficult it gets, especially when it gets difficult. There's a joy in that. But that's the world, and the animals, and the trees, and the birds, plants, flowers, all just getting along. It was such a beautiful, beautiful thing, and it reminded me of what we really are. That's where we live. I know you wouldn't believe that in a million years, but that's true. We're happy beings living in a happy experience. We're still back there in that little garden, that little playpen for the children of God, as you'd call it, I guess. I don't know what else to call it. Children of creation. But we're still living there. And this life, as solid as it feels. You know, you can pinch yourself, you can cut yourself, you know, I mean, you can die, you can live, you can get in your car and drive places, you know. Nothing's easy, but it's always beautiful. And this whole existence is something we've created as the children of creation, so that we could experience lifetimes of separation from our source, our love. Experience this difficulty we talk about this morning. Experience the negativity, the darkness, the opposite of life. You know? Get right down into it and get gritty and dirty, and I mean, you come out all bloody. Think about it. I mean, and you're usually mistreated something awful as soon as you arrive here. You know, scrub your little skin with steel brushes, things like that. Throw silver in your eye. Crap like that. I'm glad it's changing, but you know, that's usually the welcome you get when you first arrive here, you know. This is an extension of a part of our consciousness. This life, for all of its solidity, it's kind of unreal. We're living in a giant computer game, you know. Now, some friends and I are going to do a movie. Going to have to get some funding somewhere, but you know, I've written this book called The Atomic Bum. Not bomb, bum like hobo, or your backside. And it kind of holds the basis for demonstrating, with a little bit of cleaning up, and of course we're going to change it around some, because that's part of life and being creative and having fun. Just so you can see the levels that we're talking about here. And that'll help. But right here, right now, we're going to demonstrate this reality to you in a way, give it to you in a way that you can experience it and start to remember where we truthfully are, and that we're there dreaming this existence in which we live. And each time we die, as we call it, and separate ourselves from this extension of reality, we go back to a place that's in between, where we can remember and experience the love, and we're with our friends and former relatives and things like that, and you know, we're in that happy place again. That's not the world in which we truthfully live. Even that is another extension of it, meant to keep us in a cycle. It's like a long season. It never ends. You know, we're in this place where we just keep going and coming, but we never truthfully go home to that amazing reality where we are, where we truthfully live, where we're dreaming all of the rest of this into existence. That's the power of love. Creates from inside. And that's what we're doing right now. You know, we've invented all this technology so that we can communicate with one another right here, right now, and start to remember, and start to get it back, and get back in the flow, so that we gradually bring the virtual, the made up, the dream world, and the real world back together again. So the separation is over, the sense of separation, because you're never, ever, ever truthfully separated from the love, the real world in which we live. We're always in it. We're just not conscious of it. See, you can create a computer game, and you can get totally caught up in it, so much so that you live in that screen. Well, in this instance, we stepped right through this screen. We are the players in it, you know, and there are those out here that are pushing our little buttons, but we make the choices. We control the game. That's why it's important to get back and remember the amazing reality which we live. And then the separation is over. And we've returned home. Well, we haven't been for a long, long time. But time is nothing. It truthfully does not exist. It's something we've chosen to experience. The density, the slowness, which is speeding up like crazy now. Yeah. Amazing, huh? I mean, it's a tall tale. And until you've experienced it, you really can't even hardly begin to remember, though many of you have, and this will just help you along the way. So let's just take a minute, and get inside of ourselves here. That'll be more than a minute, of course. Time, what a pain. Gosh. Okay, let's get the flow going here, babies. You can close your eyes. You don't have to watch my furry old face. It's probably better if you do. Just close your eyes and just listen to the voice. And let's call in some energies and some help, or acknowledge the energies and help that are here. So, first we go. Powers of the East, powers of the South, powers of the West, powers of the North, powers of the sky and powers of the earth, joined inside of me, this one person that I are. Thank you to these powers. Thank you. And we thank the angels who are with us always, and fill us and surround us with this love, guidance and direction, rearrangement. Weren't for these guys, we'd never get through this game. They've been amazing and incredible assistance to us all. We thank them from our heart. And to our ancestors who have lived through many pains and disturbances, to bring us to this time, to bring that experience forward to the ripeness of time, so that the tree can be harvested and the fruit enjoyed, and bliss be forevermore. Thanks, you guys. Even the roles that we've played back there as our own ancestors, thanks. And we appreciate your holding and love throughout, despite all of the pain and agony. Boy, what a mess. But a beautiful one. Yes. And to the enlightened beings of the Brotherhood of the Heart, who stand at the center of all in that circle of love, and keep it together, so that no matter how far we extend ourselves into this game, this reality of untruths, of separation, that we always come home to our heart. Thank you guys, you've done a great job. And to all beings, energies, and powers, and those that come from near and far to love and assist us, we thank you so very much from our hearts. And to Great Spirit, who is love, the experience within it all, the dream come true, the truth as a dream. Bless you, Father, Mother, Mother, Father, that which lives within each and every one, the person that we are. Great Spirit, we are love. Thank you. And now we're in a proper state to begin to experience and remember our truth. And we also see inside the darkness, the loneliness, the pain of our separation. And we acknowledge that and embrace that along with our life. And we find this place at the center of our person, the center of our being, where we can be truthful and honest, where there's the utmost integrity and peaceful bliss. Yes. A place of knowing, centering, bringing this divided life that we've experienced back together at the center of the person that we are, and helping that to be. For that is our reality. That is our truth. Our integrity arising from the centered person that we are. And no longer shall we live in dishonesty or deceit, nor participate in lies and untruths and evil and skullduggery. For we've been through our share of that, and we've paid our dues, and we've gained our experience there. And we acknowledge within ourselves this time of truth, this time of returning to the moment in which our hearts began this game in the first place. And with our love respectful forever to all life and to the truth within that life, we accept now within our hearts, minds and souls the ability to remember. And each time we center ourselves, each time we bring ourselves together in this way inside and create that magnetism that draws the opposites into the center being and homogenizes the experience in a beautiful and poetic way that begins the tapestry of color in which we truthfully live. And the experience of feeling comes forward from this truthful, centered place, allows us to feel what we truthfully feel as we dream ourselves into this living life, as we dream ourselves through this experience, as we come to know the truth of our heart, our person, and accept that truth as we remember it. And remember this great love, this love that is pouring through you, pouring through us all and into this Mother Earth and into this creation, and creating it as we live within it. Oh, there is power in this beauty and truth, this beautiful truth. There's great power, power beyond all imagination, yet imagination is where it lives. It's who we are. It's what we create. We are the blessings to the beings of this earth. We who hear this, remember this, know this, love this, and be this love. We are the life by which all others are forgiven, for they know not what they do, but they become conscious too. For we are of one heart, one being, one soul, one mind, one experience, one great spirit, you know. And we are that truth. Spend a few moments now in quietness and experience this for yourself. And Grandpaw Coyote will be talking to you again soon. Enjoy the bliss. And let's remember this. Thank you. Our love is real and kind.